than an IPL match. It will be a perfect way to wind down your stressful week. To keep you enthralled, we have amazing speeches lined up and a table topic section to keep you on the edge of your seats, just like the last deciding overs of a cricket match. But before we get started, we should follow the three basic rules of every Toastmasters meeting. Number one, we should refrain ourselves from speaking in interrogatory remarks on the basis of sex, caste, or religion. Number two, we should refrain ourselves from using short forms such as TM for Toastmasters or TMOT for Toastmasters of the day. Number three, please put your microphones on mute when you're not speaking, as it might disturb the ones who are speaking. Lastly, I would like to request everybody to please switch on your cameras so that we can build a personal connect and feel just like home. Now, it's time that we welcome someone who has been the part of Toastmasters since the last 2 years. He's a dynamic and a charismatic leader. He is District 41 Creative Excellence Manager and a current VP Education of our club. Talking about cricket, we can say he's the captain of our team for today. So with a huge round of applause, please help me welcome Toastmaster Sahil Sangai. Toastmaster Sahil Sangai, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Radhika, for starting this meeting in a fabulous way and giving a warm introduction for myself. Let's keep it going for Toastmaster Radhika. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, distinguished guests present out here. Today, I'll be playing the role of stand-in president as our current president, Toastmaster Akash Bhajanka, is not available. So I don't want to take too much of time. I just have one small quote that really suits the happenings in our club. That is, the things that start well, ends well. Exactly, this is happening right now in our club as I have got few announcements to make. Let me share my screen first. Is my screen visible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
So let us start off with congratulating Toastmaster Dahlia for completing her level 4 of her pathways motivational strategies. It's not been too long that she started off with this particular path, and today she has successfully completed her level 4 of this particular path motivational strategies. Moving on with Toastmaster Suryadeep Majumdar again completing his level 4 of effective coaching. Again, he didn't start off too late. It's been a fabulous journey for Toastmaster Suryadeep, and he has completed his level 4 of his effective coaching. So congratulations, Toastmaster Dahlia and Toastmaster Suryadeep, for completing your respective levels. And finally, this is the major announcement from our club, as Toastmaster Dahlia Thakkar from our club will be representing tomorrow at the Division K level for evaluation contest. So we wish her all the best, and we hope she brings the trophy back again to our club. Congratulations and all the best, Toastmaster Dahlia Thakkar. And likewise, very experienced, phenomenal Toastmaster Panna Rashmi Ray, representing Area K3, that too from our club, will be representing Division for International Speech Contest. So congratulations and all the very best to Toastmaster Dahlia and Toastmaster Panna for their respective contests, and we hope they bring the trophy back to our club. So congratulations, everyone. So this was the announcement. These were the announcements that I was supposed to make. So with that, let me declare today's 163rd meeting open. As Toastmaster Radhika mentioned, the ground rules that we all are expected to follow. Let us start off this meeting in a very positive way. Without wasting any further time, let me have the pleasure of introducing today's Toastmaster of the day. Well, she is an experienced Toastmaster because she is not only a member of one single club, 2 clubs, but 3 individual clubs. 3 clubs, I beg your pardon, 3 clubs from Malaysia and 1 from India. From India, it is the Alap Charita Club, and in Malaysia, she happens to be a member of a corporate club which is of Reserve Bank of Malaysia. The other one is a community club, of which she happens to be a club coach. And the third, she is a member of an advanced Toastmaster club back there in Malaysia. An experienced Toastmaster, we can really see, we can really witness the kind of experience she will deliver today as a Toastmaster of the Day. So without wasting any time, let me welcome today's Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Madhurantika Malik, to continue this meeting and take over the proceedings of today's meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Madhurantika.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sahil, for such a warm welcome. It is indeed my pleasure to be back at the Elite Toastmasters Club. A round of applause, please, for our standing-in president, Toastmaster Sahil Thangai. I am the TMOD, as was explained, and so my role simply is to be the master of ceremony for today's evening, which is to guide you through today's proceedings. And I hope you're as excited as I am. Now, first things first, I would just repeat what Toastmaster Radhika said and request you to switch on your cameras as much as we can. The virtual medium anyway limits our human contact. So the lovely smiling faces is the least that we can request all of you to see. And the second one, which I would be asking you to do, is we are so used to hearing thunderous applauses in our Toastmasters meeting. But because we are requested to keep our microphones switched off, we can't do an applause so much. And I really miss that. So instead, why don't we do a virtual high five instead of an applause? And how does a virtual high five work? It doesn't work in the front, it works on the sides. So can we try that all together? Yes. Do a high five to the person on your right and to the person on your left. Try to match the hands with the person on your right and left. So every time we do, instead of an applause, we'll try to do a high five. Is that okay? Great. I think your smile tells me that we are okay. And for those who are guests here, you might be wondering, why do we do an applause? Why do we do a high five? It is because everybody who makes a speech, even if it's a 5-minute intervention, it really needs a lot of effort.
Sorry to interrupt, Toastmaster Madhurantika.
And that's why this is our way to recognize the effort. Every meeting Toastmaster theme, our Earth. Why this theme? Because next week, 22nd April, is celebrated globally as the Earth Day since 1970. It was started by earthday.org, whose mission is to diversify, educate, and activate environmental movement worldwide. Global warming, flash floods, vanishing coastal areas, pollution, deforestation, forest fires, vanishing biodiversity have become such common and recurring issues in our everyday lives. And it is high time for each one of us to act, and to act now. And why do I bring this in? Because as we in Toastmasters grow to become better public speakers, the onus falls on us, for each one of us here, to be responsible global citizens and lead the way in spreading the word and taking action on saving the environment. Restore Our Earth is the theme for 2021 Earth Day, which is 22nd April next week. So let's share our thoughts also somewhere in the meeting today on how do you think each of us can restore our Earth. As with any other club, Toastmasters Club meeting, we will have 3 sections. First is the prepared speech section, where we have 2 club members delivering the speeches that they have prepared based on the manuals prescribed by Toastmasters International. This will be followed by the table topic section, which is about impromptu speaking for 1 to 3 minutes and is open for all to participate. And then we conclude with the most important section, which is the evaluation section, where everyone who plays a role gets some feedback, because Toastmasters is all about peer learning. And With that, let me invite our general evaluator today, Rajat Roy, to introduce himself and his team and the roles they would be playing today. Over to you, Toastmaster Rajat Roy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhurantika, for that very energetic start, which has really set the ball rolling today. Well, I am the general evaluator for today's session, which means that it's the task of myself and my team to give you feedback on how the session was run. And that includes how speeches went, as well as how the roles were played. Now, that's the biggest job, of course, and we have dedicated speech evaluators who will be introduced later. But apart from them, I have another 3 assistant directors, I must say, in this particular project who are going to help me keep tabs on the session and give you feedback in the end. So let me introduce them to you, and I'll ask them to talk about their roles very briefly so that you have an idea as to how they are going to give their feedback. So to start with, let me invite on stage the timer for today, Toastmaster Jigisha Khemka.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. I am Jigisha, and I'll be playing the role of a timer today. Now, timing. Life, they say, is a game of timing. You respect time, and time will respect you. Coming to the details, the Toastmaster speech is divided. A Toastmaster session is divided into three evaluation points: the minimum time, the mean time, as well as the maximum time. For a prepared speech, the minimum time is 5 minutes. When the speaker starts speaking, I'll be showing the gray card. I'll just share my screen in a minute. Yeah, and when he's at the mean time, that is 6 minutes, then I'll be showing the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. For the table topics session, it will be 1, 1.5, and 2 respectively. And for the evaluation, it will be 2, 2.5, and 3. Now, a grace time of 30 seconds will be given for the minimum as well as the maximum side. That is, a speaker will qualify for voting if he does not take more than 30 seconds more than the maximum time, as well as he should not fall short by more than 30 seconds from the lower limit. However, the grace time for table topics will not be given for the minimum time. And I'll be giving my timer's report at the end when asked to do so by the general evaluator. Thank you so much. Back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jigisha. I think there was a little audio disturbance here and there. So one point I'd re-clarify that the gray card will be on right from the beginning. And at the minimum time of, say, 5 minutes in a prepared speech, the green will come on. The next role player is the R counter. And can I invite on stage Toastmaster Deeparaj Das?
Did you know the innocent filler words that are used by you could portray you as a liar? Yes. Dr. John Schaffer from Western Illinois University, he basically said these little words could portray you, which could mean deception. Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The purpose of this R counter is to note the words and the sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler by anyone. During this meeting, I will listen for the overused words, which include and, well, so, but, I will also listen to the filler words such as I will also note when a speaker repeats a word such as I, this means, and at the end of the meeting, I'll share the report. So thank you, Madam Toastmaster and Ms. Toastmaster, Rajat Ray.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deeparaj, for your role introduction. And the third role player who I'd like to introduce is the grammarian for today, Toastmaster Tanvi Kumari.
Thank you so much, GE Toastmaster Rajat Ray. There are two skills that have been taught right since day one of our school life that we continue to use every day. One is mathematics and the another one is a language. Most of us don't use chemistry or geography in our everyday lives, but trust me, arithmetic and languages are like must-haves. Naturally, it's very important that we are fairly okay at them, because if you mess up at your arithmetic while paying your fruit vendor, you know what the result will be. It's similar with your language as well. And one of the good parts of being with Toastmasters is that we have a proper grammarian role here who not only introduces the word of the day and the phrase of the day, but also generally makes a note of the good usage of the grammar. So today I'm going to play that role for you. And with this, I would really like to take the opportunity of introducing the word of the day, which is, I'm just sharing my screen. The word of the day is Meraki. Meraki means doing things with love, passion, creativity, and a lot of soul in it. And the example of it could be that I made your birthday cake with Meraki, or I made this whole wonderful garden blossoming out of Meraki. The second part, which is the phrase of the day. So let me introduce the phrase of the day for today, or the idiom of the day, which is true blue. And true blue really means completely loyal, faithful to a person or belief. Example could be, you can count on her support. She is your true blue. Or we can also say that this upcoming generation is true blue to restore the planet Earth. So with this, I would really want to go back to the general evaluator, and I am going to present the report of the good usages as and when I am called on in the meeting. Thank you very much. Over to you, general evaluator.
Sorry to disturb you, Rohit sir, but you are on mute.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanvi. I'd also like to suggest that you put the word of the day and the phrase of the day in the chat box so that people are very clear what they are.
Sure.
With that, let me hand it back to the effervescent Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Madhurantika, to continue her role as a role for the rest of the session.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajat. A round of applause. No, a round of high fives to our general evaluator and our team, evaluation team. As we move ahead with our meeting, let's remind ourselves, again, a request to all of you to switch on your cameras if you can. And I also see a couple of guests in the meeting, and let's make sure that our guests are comfortable in this meeting. Guest Megha, may I request you to share with us a little bit about yourself, who invited you to the meeting, and is this your first time to attend the Toastmasters meeting?
Hi everyone. No, so this is not my first time of attending Toastmaster meeting. So this is my third meeting as a guest in Elite. And like before I said that Mridula was the one who introduced me to Toastmasters, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I thoroughly enjoyed all my previous meetings yet.
Thank you, and
Yes.
welcome again.
Yes.
Welcome again, Megha.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this meeting, and hopefully we should be calling you Toastmaster Megha very soon.
Very soon, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I also see Tan Leteng, who is from a club in Malaysia. Leteng, would you want to introduce yourself, please?
Thank you very much, Madhu, and good evening, my dear friends from India. I am here because of a friend and she's Madhu Rantika. We are in the same club, 2 clubs in Malaysia, and it is my honor to be here with all of you. I'm here to learn from Madhu as well as all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lete. Welcome to this meeting. Toastmaster Tanvi, would you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Madhurantika Malik. I am basically from PSN Toastmasters Club in Bangalore. I'm a treasurer there as a part of the ExCom committee. But I would really want to, with all the gratitude, I would like to share that I'm here just because of Toastmaster Madhurantika. And not only here in this Elite Toastmasters Club, wherein I look forward to a lot of learning, but I joined Toastmasters Club only because of her encouragement and her motivation to go ahead and really try my skills in public speaking and leadership and learn a lot. And trust me, I'm really enjoying this whole journey with Toastmasters, and it's soon going to be a 1 year for me. So thank you so much, Madhu, and thank you for inviting me.
I ask a lot of people to become Toastmasters, but few take over. There are some who join Toastmasters 5 years later and say, Madhu, why didn't I listen to you 5 years back? Tanvi was one who joined Toastmasters within a month. So it's thanks to you, Tanvi, for listening to a suggestion which I thought would help you. I do not see any other members with the guest written, so I'm assuming everybody else is a Toastmaster and a member of Elite. If not, please do mention in the chat, and we would love to see your faces and learn a little more about you. With that, we will get started with the first section of our meeting, and we will get started by inviting our first speech evaluator. Prior to this meeting, when we were discussing the theme, our evaluator told me, the earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. And this was her favorite quotation because let's say if you want to throw some garbage on the road, this is what will immediately stop me. And I thought it was indeed very interesting and something, a lot of food for thought. The earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. And so with a high five, let's invite our first evaluator, Toastmaster Ayushi Taparia, to read the notes to the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. So the purpose statement, the purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envision mentoring. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of the previous experience as a mentee. Timer, please note the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. The speech title is The Butterfly Effect, and all the best to the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aishi. Speaker 1 is attempting a level 2 project, Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring, and she has been mentored by Toastmaster Kaushik Bhattacharya. When I asked her what was her thoughts on the theme for today, Restore Our Earth, she said, like a true leader, a true public speaker leader, if you want to follow others, start doing it yourself. Indeed, that is the theme and the message we should give as public speakers. Let's welcome on stage our first speaker for today, Toastmaster Shruti Jain, with her speech titled The Butterfly Effect. The Butterfly Effect, Toastmaster Shruti Jain.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. I hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes, you are. You might want to step back a little because we don't see the, yes, right. Perfect.
Give me a moment to just pin down the timer's video. I am unable to do that for some reason.
Since the timer will be sharing screen, you may not need to pin.
Okay. And the next participant for the impromptu debate from the Red House is Shruti Jain. I was sitting by my friends in my school hall grabbing my lunch when I suddenly heard my name. I didn't put my name voluntarily. Kesha, you did that, didn't you? Shruti Jain, can we please have you on the stage? Isha, I told you I hate going up on the stage. Why would you do this to me? The thing is, my friend knew that my love for speaking and anxiety didn't go hand in hand. I wanted to go up on the stage and speak with Miraki, but instead, my feet used to be always shivering. So she did what had to be done. She broke us apart. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and infiltrators like my friend Kesha. Now, Kesha and me have been friends for over 12 years now, and not even one moment goes by where I don't forget to remind her the butterfly she gave me that day, which no boyfriend has been ever able to do that. I was shivering on the stage. I was anxious, but she forced me to go on the stage, leaving my fear behind. Hence, teaching me the most important lesson in my life. You should not let fear hold you back. Falter, fall down, but rise up like the phoenix again. Well, what happened when the tables turned? Before I go back to the event, let me just tell you, if you all are wondering how did I do on the debate, well, a lot of my time was contemplating, thinking about the fact that should I be betraying Shinchan or Doraemon, since the topic at hand was your favorite cartoon. Now, when the tables turned and she came back to me for relationship advice, small disclaimer, never do that. Well, I had to run to other people to give her the right advice, and hence I came across the relationship gurus in my life who have helped me in a lot of my dating issues. Well, they have been responsible that I have come out of bad relationships, but have also been the culprit behind my sad and long Facebook statuses. But the one thing which they taught me in life was, which was very good about them, was that they never imposed their opinion on me. I was always at the liberty to do and choose what I wanted to do, because after all, it was my life. It was just not my friends who have guided me throughout this phase of life. Let me tell you one more event. Here, have a chocolate. I have a treat for you. I made a profit. Made a profit? How? Stop telling lies. Please, it will get you into trouble. Take this. I really did. Really? Tell me how. Well, my friend Shivani, I had lost her maths book. It cost 400 bucks. And you know what I did? Instead of buying her a new one, I went to the market, bought a second-hand book which cost 200 bucks. Hence, I saved 200 rupees. You literally spent 200 rupees out of your pocket. How did you end up making a profit, you idiot? Well, I don't know how did I explain my brother, my cousin, this concept of profit and loss, but it was enough for him to understand that my mathematical skills were literally poor. So he took the job of torturing me by teaching me maths. But look at the irony. I was the one who was actually torturing him with my skills. Well, to say not the least, my brother is a very, very impatient perfectionist. So he spent a large amount of time, approximately 10 days, where he taught me each and every problem it was there in my maths book of profit and loss. But after a period of 10 days, when he came back to me and told me to do the sums which he had taught me earlier, I had forgotten all of them because I couldn't cope. Hence, he realized the importance of patience in his life and eventually gave me that patience and time to cope up with my mathematical skills, as well as he tried to ingrain the concepts in me rather than mathematical problems. Well, the concepts are still here with me, hence it was a long-term achievement which he was doing, since I am good at maths, not to boast about it. Well, if you all are thinking, why am I here? Probably I'm going to come up with a story by a life coach who has taught me, or a person from the advisory committee. I am so sorry to disappoint you. I have not been taught by an official person or a life coach, but there have been enough people in my life who have been smart enough to help me understand the importance of a mentor. Well, a true mentor is the one who helps you realize your true potential. Failure is inevitable, so it is very important for them to have the right balance of words of encouragement and critique. But the most important life lesson which they taught me is to not always choose the advice which the mentor gives you, that you can choose at your own will. And by not imposing anything on me, I also wish that if I am a mentor in my life, I am not imposing my advices on anyone. I have been very, very lucky to be under amazing people under their roof who have taught me such a huge amount in my life. What about you, Toastmaster of the Day?
Thank you, and a round of applause or a high five for Toastmaster Shruti Jain. That was indeed interesting and funny. Thank you so much. I'm sure your evaluator would have a lot to say for that. Let's move on to our second evaluator, Toastmaster Shahil Sanghai, who is also the standing in precedence today. Shahil, sorry.
Okay, may I start?
Sorry, I thought somebody wanted to say something. So Sahil was telling me when we were discussing before the meeting, he said that currently he lives in Nepal and they are currently fighting forest fires, which are resulting also in a lot of air pollution. And he heard this quotation that touched him, that no time to grieve for roses when the forests are burning. No time to grieve for roses when the forests are burning. Indeed, the quotation also touched me, Toastmaster Sahil. Over to you to read out the notes to the speaker.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. So I'll be evaluating our second speaker who will be presenting his project, High Performance Leadership, which happens to be the first speech of this particular project. The purpose of this project is for the member to apply his or her leadership and planning knowledge to develop a project plan, organize a guidance committee, and implement the plan with the help of the team itself. The purpose of the first speech of this particular project is for the member to introduce his or her plan and vision. The note to myself as an evaluator is I'll be keeping a track of this particular speech. It may be humorous, it may be full of content, but it should stick to the objective of the project. Timer, please note, the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, and all the best to the speaker.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sahil. So as mentioned, our speaker two is delivering his first speech of the High Performance Leadership Project. And he has been mentored by Toastmaster Dalia Thakur for this speech. As a public speaker, his message to us on the theme for today's speech is, the best time to plant a tree was 200 years ago, and the second best time is right now. Indeed, it is the time to act. And with a high five, let's welcome on stage Toastmaster Suryadeep Mazumdar, EC4, to deliver his speech titled Inspiring. Inspiring Toastmaster Suryadeep Mazumdar.
Adversities creates lessons and also graces us with wisdom. With a show of hands, how many of you all agree with me? Thank you so much. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and of course, all the role takers. There was this very interesting situation I was going through. An absolute bliss. Walking with this beautiful realm of performing my speeches, having the time of my life until the moment this level 5 speech, the hurdle came by. The evaluation report told me, you have to create an event, create a guidance committee, create a core team, everything you have to do all by yourself. For a poor fellow like me, who grew up writing all those lab notebooks throughout school and college, this felt like such a huge burden, not fair. Then I was reminded of the quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Yes, there are adversities, but adversities create wisdom and simplicity is genius. So I had two options. Option number one, I cry and whine, keep complaining, keep crying, eventually do what I am supposed to do. Option number two, I take it up as a challenge, face it, fight it, win it, finish it, job done, boom. I decided, decision made, decision made. The plan, Inspirion, learning from the legends in the field, souls who choose not to identify themselves. They just focused on their successes, building their legacy. Now we all understand that we need to dive deep through our darkest phases in order to extract out the wisdom that we need. And that's why I reached out to all these amazing souls. In fact, I was going through all these different kinds of subjects growing up. I mean, English, Macbeth, physics, history, all the way to Harry Potter and Percy Jackson. And I realized there's always this missing piece. The missing piece being wisdom. That's when I got obsessed with this word called TED or TEDx. With a show of hands, how many of you have heard about TED or TEDx? Okay, thank you so much once again. Guess what? It's not possible to do all this amazing thing all by yourself. If you want to learn from TEDx, though they are all speakers, elegant speakers, professional speakers. Now, I was more focused on being grounded, learning from people around me. And that's when I realized in order to do this, I need to have a core team. Remember I mentioned about simplicity is genius? We decided, let's organize this event where we are going to invite souls and learn from their darkest periods, learning from the wisdom they shower upon us. And we reached out, all non-Toastmasters, by the way, and they happily embraced our offer and got themselves ready to present a 10 to 12 minute of their journey, the journey of their life. When it comes to choosing the core team, it becomes difficult because Tony Robbins, my Miraki, has said, you got to work with the people you vibrate with respect to energy. And then you transform them into your core team, and that becomes easy to function. And that's how the plan came into fruition. The plan of Inspirion. Let's walk through the vision now. John and Missy Butcher, the true blue for me, they stated, it's your mission that pulls you towards your goals. It's your vision, your compelling vision that pushes you towards it. We got ready and we realized if we can take ourselves through this roller coaster ride, There's so much that we can learn. In fact, we can also find that missing piece, the missing piece of wisdom. Having said that, I grew up with this mindset. Yeah, you know what, Suryadeep? You know everything. You are the champ. You're the best. There ever is, there ever will be. Quite clearly, I was wrong. I was living in a mirage and a hallucination, because experience matters. And in order to learn experience, we need to interact with souls that can guide us through the process. Here's how I see it. When you listen to elegant speakers, professionals who are absolutely amazing in their realms, you can literally download decades of information, decades of wisdom, decades of knowledge into days, in this case, minutes. 10 to 12 minutes of a roller coaster ride. A roller coaster ride that transforms our dreams into reality, practical wisdom. Even before that, how many times have we went through TEDx talks? How many times have we been through YouTube videos? How many times have we been through content, books, training modules, you name it? Are we really serious about it? Do we really understand and express our gratitude the way we are supposed to? Had we done that, we would have been a lot more successful, isn't it? How about one event can give you all that you want to know, all that you want to learn? How would it be? That is what Inspirion is all about. Before that, I ask you the question again. How would it be? Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. A very big high five for our Toastmaster, Suryadeep. Indeed, you are all pumped up, and I can see all the mercy that has gone into the speech, and all the best for your project coming up. Thank you so much. We will now move to the exciting part of this meeting, which is the table topic session. And a reminder, especially to all our guests, is that this session is open not only to members, but each and every person present in this room, and make the best of this opportunity. It is my pleasure to invite our table topics master, who told me that his favorite quotation on today's theme of Restore Our Earth is, "The earth is what we all have in common." The earth is what we all have in common. Indeed, a profound thought. I thought, simple though profound. Let's give a high five and welcome Toastmaster Shantanu Datta. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. You seems to me a true blue environmentalist. Now, they say you should think on the feet. And this table topic session helps you to perfectly just do that. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. This is Shantanu Datta, your table topic master. Now, let me state the rules. Every participant will be allowed to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Guests can change their topic once, Toastmasters cannot. There is a 30-second grace period only on the upper side of the time limit. Please nominate yourself on the chat, or raise hand in the participant box, or even in the videos. Or else I have to pick you up. So who wants to participate first? Okay.
We have Vanya Grunt as his hand up.
I see the Tanvi on the chat. Tanvi, can we have on the stage, please?
Yes, Toastmaster Shantanu.
Great. Your topic is recycling should be mandatory. Recycling should be mandatory. Tanvi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shantanu. As my topic is that recycling is mandatory, and I'm really for the topic because I do think that there is a lot of waste that gets created by all of us. Say, for example, if I want to go and buy vegetable or fruits in the market, what is it that I do? Do I need so many of polythenes? Actually not. But I do go and I buy it. Similarly, even for other aspects, when we are in any supermarket or hypermarket, first thing that we look at it is, okay, so we really want different items in a different packet. Is it really mandatory? Not really. But we still do that because that's how our mind is conditioned. I think the government as a rule should ensure and impose it on everybody that it is mandatory that each and every person is also incentivized for recycling things. And if you recycle it, that's when you are maybe recognized or something like that. But I really want to take this topic a little beyond by saying that recycling is not only mandatory for, say, just the items around us. I think it's also for us as human beings, because sometimes we really need to slow down. And I think COVID and this big pandemic has really made us understand the importance of slowing down. Take a pause, make a pause button, do some meditation, do some introspection, really know whether so many things are needed and recycle even ourselves as such. So with this, I do agree with the topic, and I think it'll be great if we look at recycling not as only the nature around and preserve the nature as much as possible and restore Earth, but also really implement it even in ourselves. Thank you very much. Over to you, Table Topic Master. Thank you.
What an amazing take. Thank you, Tanvi. Next, I would like to request Vanya Grant on the stage. Vanya, are you there?
Yes, Table Topics Master.
Cool.
Shantanu, yeah.
Cool. We need to invest more in alternative fuels. We need to invest more in alternative fuels. Vanya Grant.
Thank you so much for the topic, Toastmaster Shantanu. Yes, we need to invest a lot in an alternative fuel because the world is heading towards a disaster. As we all know, being in India, we are actually experiencing the heat of the fuel prices rising up, and it is burning not only our pockets, but also it is burning our hearts and minds. Yes or no? So we all must be creative in shifting our vehicles to either the batteries or use cycles. So that would be a very good investment for us to make. And for us to be completely good at what we want to do to the Mother Earth. So let us all pledge that we live here with a Meraki to the Mother Earth and the environment around us, being a true blue human being to this planet Earth and to our neighbors and to every human being and the human race. Thank you so much, Shantanu. Over to Toastmaster Shantanu.
What an amazing take. High five. Okay. Now time to invite a guest. Guest Smriti Garg, are you there?
Yes, Toastmaster Shantanu, I'm here.
Cool. Okay. We should strive for a paperless society. We should strive for a paperless society. Smriti Garg.
Like, it's an economic problem. We have limited resources and unlimited bonds. Limited resources and unlimited bonds. So how can we have a parity in between them is through utilizing the things in the best and optimizing resources. The use of the resources must be optimized, and the paper we use to write when we are in school was no use after some time. But if we use this paper are get through cutting of trees, and through cutting of trees, the ecological balance get disturbed, devastated. This switch of diversity pandemic COVID-19, we have seen loads of problems. And if we don't utilize the existing resources in the best manner, one is sure that things will be empty. Nothing can be used, nothing is left. So it's our responsibility to utilize the resources in a stable manner that can provide it for future generations. And this is provided by wood through trees. Why not use this wisely? These days, due to pandemic, we are focusing more and more towards digitalization, and this I think people are saved because of this. So it's our responsibility as a young generation, as well as the adults, that we must utilize the resources in the best manner, and also this paper in the best possible manner. Thank you. Over to you.
Thanks, Shruti. Okay. Ayushi, can we have you on the stage, please?
Yeah. Am I audible now properly?
Yes, you are audible and visible. Buying durable goods will save the world. Buying durable goods will save the world. Ayushi Taparia.
Good evening, everyone. When you go to a shop and you have two options to buy. One is through a plastic. You need to carry the things in your plastic bag, and another is to bring your own bag and then put that is your own cloth bag and put your things over there. So, what would you choose? I personally would choose to bring my own bag. Why? Because firstly, it is something which during this COVID time, you do not need to touch somebody else's bag. And secondly, I'm saving the earth. As I said before, the earth does not belong to us. We belong to earth. So it's our responsibility and it's our duty to save our earth, and using not only the plastic bags, it's not just about plastic bags, any durable goods that we have. It can be it can be the cloth bags, or it can be the reusable containers that we have in the market. Uh, for that, I would like to say that if you go to a market and if you see a box, maybe that may be a plastic box, but if you as a mother, like if our mother does, is they recycle the box that we get for like the cheesy bites box, which is being utilized by for keeping the pickles and all those things. So that is how you can recycle the things, and that is really a good thing, because that way we are using the material, and the raw material is being utilized, and we are saving, and we are making our step as a young generation to the future of our country. And I guess we all today over here should make a step to save the earth further and step forward to save our earth and be a good citizen to save our earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayushi, for your wonderful take. What an amazing perspective it was. So can I invite Toastmaster Namrata?
Hello.
Hi, Toastmaster Namrata. We are wasting the opportunity to waste less. We are wasting the opportunity to waste less. Toastmaster Namrata.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for the wonderful topic. I really agree because time is a crucial thing, and once the time is wasted, it's never going to come back. And since during the pandemic happened, a lot of people has wasted time. A lot of people has also utilized time. And I feel that we should always use the time in a proper way because we can make a lot of things work. We can do a lot of things. And I guess that's all I have to say.
No issues, Namrata. Give a round of applause for Namrata for trying. Okay. Next. Can we have Shruti on the stage, please?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello?
You are not visible yet. Is it with
Yeah, I am outside, so I won't be able to start my video. Is it fine?
Yeah, sure. Okay. A nation that destroys its soil destroys itself. A nation that destroys its soil destroys itself. Toastmaster Shruti.
Any one of you, if you have seen the movie Tenet here, you would have realized that this movie is actually not about a villain who is trying to destroy our generation, but it is about the future generation who are so concerned about themselves because the present generation has completely destroyed the climate, destroyed the soil. Well, that is what has been happening all over the world. India, US, Russia, all of these countries call themselves the so-called economic powers. India is of course not that great economically, but yet it is home to 1 billion people. And when I see in front of my eyes that trees are being cut, water is being wasted for all the advances that it has to do, it makes me so sad because in the end, even if you are progressing, at what sake are you doing that? If you remember in the beginning of the pandemic, when we were not driving and the air quality went up by 1,000 notches. I mean, people all over the country could see parts of buildings and skies which they never thought they would be able to. But look at us now, a year after the pandemic, and we are literally stenched with heat, and the temperatures are rising above and the temperatures are rising as much as possible, and it is leaving all of us in a state of disarray. So if that is what we are doing as humans, we are destroying our soil, we are destroying the place where we live in, and in return all of it is coming back to us. The nation is getting destroyed because the inhabitants of the nation cannot live properly. That's all from my side. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Shruti. What an amazing take it was. Now, I am calling the last participant, Toastmaster Shuryadeep. Toastmaster Shuryadeep.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Yeah, bring it on.
When we heal the earth, we heal ourselves. When we heal the earth, we heal ourselves. Toastmaster Shuryadeep.
I remember this incident. I was 7 years old. Walking down, holding the hand of my dad, I witnessed near the bushes 2 souls urinating. That's right, urinating. I don't like torture against nature. So I left my dad's hand, walked up to them. 3, 2, 1, boo! Guess what? The projectile went a little crisscross and it was a mess. What's worse? The reason why I got completely beaten up by my true blue, my dad, is I walked up to those trees and I apologized because of those 2 souls, ignorant souls. I walked up to those trees, held those trees, the drops of urine still drenching from the leaves. I said, I'm going to protect you. Yes, I'm so small right now. My hands are so small. I can barely touch you properly, but I'm going to protect you. And since that day, every morning that I wake up and I go for my jogging, I make sure I sing for the trees. I celebrate with the trees. I laugh with the trees, the plants, the bushes, the flowers. And I realize the essence of living, the essence of gratitude is what Mother Nature gives us. But every step begins when we take that fundamental first step of expressing our miracle for Mother Nature. Because when we take that first step, guess what? The trees, so-called trees, they give us so much back. Wouldn't you agree with me, Table Topic Master? Over to you.
I couldn't agree more, Shuryadeep. The love for the trees with Miraki was really commendable. With that, thank you everybody. We're at the end of this session. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. A double high five for our Table Topics Master today, because 1, this was his first time to make his debut as a Table Topics Master, and I think he did a fantastic job. I loved all the topics. Thanks for reiterating the theme for today with such lovely topics. And thanks to all the speakers. You show your true blue for this topic. Thank you so much. And as you mentioned, Toastmaster Shantanu, I myself, yes, it's my true blue, because how else would a Bengali who has grown up eating fish 365 days a year, all throughout, suddenly decide to become a vegetarian? That is my small contribution to restoring the earth. We now come to the last and yet the most critical part of the meeting, which is the evaluation session. And indeed, we saved the best for the last. And it is my immense pleasure to invite back our general evaluator today. A quote by Albert Einstein is his favorite. The quote says, "If the bee disappears from the surface of the earth, man would have no more than 4 years to live." Did you know this? Yes, it's not really a quotation, but a fact. If the bees disappear from the surface of the earth, mankind would have no more than 4 years to live. Our general evaluator is the person we all look up to, is a person who is always there, ready to help, a person I am blessed to have as a mentor. A high five for Toastmaster Rajat Ray. Over to you.
Thank you, the Toastmaster of the Day, Madhurantika. This session has really been going great guns with good speeches and sparkling table topics. So let's take a look at what my team members say about the various speeches that have taken place and whether we can do something to improve them. So to start with, we will be inviting the speech evaluators on stage. There were two speeches. The first speech had been given by Toastmaster Shruti Jain. And let me invite the evaluator for that speech, Toastmaster Ayushi Taparia, for her comments.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. What a magnificent and a miraculous speech, Toastmaster Shruti Jain. I really loved your speech and I could really connect with you the way that you did not had a specific professional mentor. I too have my friends. One is a relationship guide, one is an education guide, and so on it goes on. So I could really connect to you. I would really say that you had a great start and a great ending. You started by attracting the audience and you ended with a message to take away and to all the members present over here that not to impose your decisions on your mentee. I really love that. The next thing that I loved about your speech was your hand gestures. It was really perfect, and it actually you used it in a very perfect way, and to the words and to the sentences that you were using, it was good. It was amazing to see that. And the last thing that I really loved was incorporating the word of the day in your speech, because you have a prepared speech and incorporating the word of the day. Meraki was again a kudos to you on that. The things that you could make to improve your speech and take it to the next level were, the first thing I would like to say you would be the eye contact. I guess your camera placing was it was not proper. So if you could make the camera placing properly so that it is above your this level, so that your eyes you can directly see your eyes in the camera. So it would be a good thing. So, and we could have connected more to you if it would have been at this level. Next thing that I would commend you would be the emotions that it could show to us, like along with the sentences. That was, if you said, I hate going on stage. So you could say, I hated going on the stage, or something with such an expression on your face would have made us realize those situations into us. Otherwise, your speech was a wonderful speech, and wonderful speech with with a good start, with a good ending, and with good hand gesture. And the things you could improve upon would be your placing your camera level properly, and a few emotions and a voice modulation, bit of emotions to show would make your speech to a next level. And I guess you would be removing all the butterfly effect that you would be having again when you come back on the stage. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayushi, for your evaluation. I agree with all your points. I'll give a feedback to you first before giving a further comment to the speech. I feel you structured your evaluation pretty well because the analytical points were there. 3 commendations, 2 recommendations. Maybe you could have given 1 more, and a perfect summary in the end. And you had a motivating tone. So well done there, Toastmaster Ayushi. Toastmaster Shruti, in the interest of saving time, I'll probably give you a detailed feedback offline. But I would only like to say that since this is a speech on mentoring styles, a little information on the styles of mentoring that you realized that these mentors have, each of them whom you talked about, would have added some more value to your story. And although you have said that in future you hope to be a great mentor, what sort of style do you foresee for yourself? I was looking forward to that. But a very entertaining speech, which is not usual when one is hearing a speech about mentoring. So that's a speech which I really enjoyed listening to. So let me invite on stage our next evaluator. And that speech had been delivered by Toastmaster Suryadeep, being evaluated by Toastmaster Sahil Sanghai.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. In a teamwork, we need skill set to get into that team, guts and courage to perform out of the box, and combining everything, skill set, courage, guts, you become a leader. And that is exactly what Toastmaster Suryadeep is up to. in his high-performance leadership project, acting as a leader leading from the front. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Let me start off with three things that I really liked about his speech. Firstly, he started off with a fabulous quote, "Adversity creates wisdom." And the way he spoke, it created a really good vibe, and the energy and that positive vibe started right from there. Secondly, his vocal variety. Be it during his acting or be it during his entire speech, his vocal variety was right up to the mark. As I can feel, he's a really good actor as well. And thirdly, to give a top notch to his vocal variety, he had hand gestures in his place, in his armory. And Toastmaster Suryadeep really extracted those hand gestures perfectly to make this speech sound fabulous. As a leader, it is obvious we will face some challenges. And to help you with, I have few recommendations regarding this particular speech. Firstly, your plan could have been a lot more clearer. I felt as if the plan came in bits and pieces. So Toastmaster Suryadeep could have brought in the plan right from the word go and have talked about how he implemented this particular plan and how he formed his team in his body part, and then could have dragged again that entire plan in the conclusion. Talking about conclusion, the second point is the conclusion could have been a lot more stronger. I felt the conclusion, the speech ended abruptly. So the speaker, Toastmaster Suryadeep, could have mentioned more about the speakers who are speaking in his particular project, the credentials of those speakers, and more importantly, the date, time, and venue, which could have acted as a promotional material to Toastmaster Suryadeep's plan. So that could have been taken care of. And thirdly, the camera positioning. Toastmaster Suryadeep did have few movements around which he did perfectly, but however, there wasn't wide angle, wide area, I beg your pardon, to his speech. So the camera could have been placed a lot more further up, and he could have stood a lot more further, so that there could have been a proper angle to his body positioning, to his gestures, and everything that could have made the speech look more fabulous. To sum things up, a fabulous plan, a fabulous initiative by Toastmaster Suryadeep. As a speaker, of course, he's really humorous right from the word go. Beautiful use of hand gestures and vocal variety. Just a bit of touch up in the structure of the speech, in the objectives of the speech. This speech could have been a lot more better. This speech could have reached in a different level altogether. But all in all, I wish Toastmaster Suryadeep all the very best for his project. Over to you, Channel Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahil, for that excellent evaluation. I think you've covered almost all the points here, and you did your analysis very well with 3 commendations, 3 recommendations, and a perfect summary. And you were motivating. Only suggestion I might have is, personally to me, an evaluation always sounds better when you address it to the speaker rather than saying that he did this and he did that. You did this well is more motivating. And coming back to Toastmaster Suryadeep, you're always a fantastically entertaining speaker. Now, I am sure I've never heard a HPL1 speech which bordered funny, and you were able to make it entertaining. Kudos to you. It was very clear why you chose this, and your inspirational tone was great. But as mentioned by the evaluator, I think it is very, very important that your content covers the scope of your project, schedule of your project. Who are your guidance committee members? Who are your core committee members? Why did you choose them? What skills did they bring to your team? And where do you want to go next from there? Perhaps you have thoughts of further projects. After all, this is presenting a proposal basically in an inspirational manner. So the details should be there. So that is my core suggestion to you for this speech. But as I said earlier, it was lovely hearing you speak. Now, those were the feedback on the prepared speeches. Let me give a quick feedback on the table topic speakers before I go on to the rest of the session. We had 7 speakers in this table topics. And the first speaker was Toastmaster Tanvi. Recycling should be mandatory. You did very well in this particular speech. You declared your stand. You spoke about wastage. You gave the example of polybags. And you also were talking about a possible solution by incentivizing. And what I really liked is you took this one level higher and said even we need to be recycled by slowing down and by introspection. And it took it to philosophical level. Very well done there. And you had a proper summary where you agreed. So a great speech, by the way, Toastmaster 10. Toastmaster Vanya, we need to invest more in alternative fuels. Here also, your speech structure was good because you agreed, you spoke about fuel prices and how they're pinching us. And you suggested some solutions like shifting to batteries and cycling. And you finally again agreed with the topic. So I cannot fault you structurally. However, I can say that maybe in content, you could have enhanced the content a bit by talking about other alternate fuels as well and not just sticking to automobiles because the topic is alternative fuels. Fuels are used everywhere, not just in automobiles. So alternate source of power could have been a little expansion on this topic. Otherwise, very well delivered. Guest Smriti, we should strive for a paperless society. I was really impressed by your start because you almost gave a clear quotation, limited resources, unlimited wants, and you agreed with it. And you spoke about ecological balance and the pandemic. Unfortunately, there was a little audio disturbance during your speech, so I missed bits and pieces there. But I again caught you in the end where you agreed with the topic and you closed. So I would say that it was a very fair attempt, and I wish I could have heard more about your speech, what you were talking. Toastmaster Ayushi, your topic was buying durable goods will save the world. Now, you started with an example of going to a supermarket and buying a bag, which brought interest to the speech. And then you went to saying that our duty was to save the earth. So that was a good change. And you also gave some more ways in which we can buy durable goods like containers. I feel that examples could have been a little wider in durable goods. And also, you see, the basic tenet of this topic is to reduce the use and throw attitude. That is what durable goods brings to the table when we are talking about ecological balance. So perhaps in your reasoning part, you could have gone on and said that use and throw has become an attitude with us and we can reduce that in XYZ manner. Yeah? But a well-delivered speech nonetheless, Toastmaster Ayush. Toastmaster Namrata, you had a topic. We are wasting opportunities to waste less. I'm not sure whether you're a Toastmaster or a guest because it wasn't clear. Anyway, you started by saying time will not come back and you did not continue much on it. And part of the reason why you didn't continue, I feel, is that perhaps you have not grasped the topic fully. It was more about wasting less and less about wasting time. So reducing wastage is, of course, a huge topic. I'm sure you could have spoken a little more about it had you thought about it. No problem at all. Sometimes thoughts don't strike us when we are up on the stage. So I'd like to reiterate here for all speakers how important it is to listen to all parts of the topic because the clue will come to our mind from any portion, right? But a great attempt, Toastmaster Namrata. Toastmaster Shruti, nation which destroys its soil, destroys itself. We started very well with the movie Tenet, where Earth basically was a destruction spree, and they time travel and try and save it. Frankly, I didn't understand head or tail of the movie, but it looks like you did. So kudos for that, at least. And you spoke about earth and soil being destroyed and gave the examples of trees and water and air, everything going down the drain, and soil is part of it. But if you could have focused on soil a little more because it's part of the topic that what causes soil loss and how it can be prevented, if such thoughts had struck you, that would have added a little more sharpness to your speech. Toastmaster Suryadeep, when we heal the earth, we heal ourselves. As usual, an entertaining delivery where people were damaging trees by urinating. I'm not sure whether the urinating damaged the trees, but probably added a bit of urea. But in any case, I do appreciate your concern about the trees and how you wanted to protect them and the attitude of gratitude that we have towards this planet and that we should be grateful. And the example of trees was a good example. However, I'd recommend that some of the key words in the topic need to be repeated while you're speaking. The word heal did not at all appear in your speech. If you're just, given it here and there, healing, that would have connected with the topic because we're talking about healing the earth. And while saving the trees is there, in fact, saving anything is worth it when we're healing the earth. All in all, a great set of topics and very well attempted by every speaker. I'm glad I listened to those. So let me get back to the evaluating the session as a whole right from the start. So the session started on time. But before the session starts on time, I'd like to make a request to all the role players that they do prefix their names with their roles. If nothing else, it helps the table topic master to identify those who don't have roles and to give them preference for table topics, right? Otherwise, the Sergeant at Arms, yes, you started right on time, the Toastmaster Radhika. Your energy level was high and you covered all the protocols and the taboos. And I really liked your innovative start by comparing this session with an IPL match with which it is competing. It's a good job there. The acting president, Toastmaster Sahil, is a past master at this game. So he had an energetic start and an inspirational line which said things that start well, end well. The only thing I feel that he may have missed is introducing the guests, which was taken care of later. But nonetheless, guests being introduced by the president has a different feel. Your announcements on the slide were very, very motivational. So I hope that continues in future also. Let me cover table topic master first. Toastmaster Santanu, I really laud you on your choice of topics. It was perfectly in keeping with the theme. And the role introduction was done well. You could have mentioned that the guests can change the topics if once, because that we allow to the guests. And you also called guests apart from Toastmasters, but as I mentioned earlier, perhaps you couldn't make out who all were having the roles, because we do give preference to people who don't have roles, like you called evaluators and speakers, instead of some perhaps guests who could have given it a shot. Yeah. And I would also suggest that in future, once the speaker finishes speaking, if you just speak one line about the content of the speech, that would really convey to the speaker that you were listening to his speech and it would motivate them. The time management was excellent, 20 minutes. So let's now listen to the reports from all the three tag role players, TAG. Let me invite first on stage Toastmaster Jigisha, the timer, for a report.
So only 2 people have been disqualified from voting. The table topic speakers Vanya Grant and Toastmaster Namrata. They scored below the time required time limit, even after the grace period taken into account. And if you all want your individual speech timings, then you can DM me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jigisha. That was very efficiently done. For your information, she's playing this role for the first time, so a big round of applause to her. Your card displays were done very, very much as required. Coming to the next tag player, the R counter for today. Let me invite on stage Toastmaster Deepraj for his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator Rajat Rai. Now, it's very important for us to communicate effectively, and that's where the R counter is important, because these filler words take the attention away from the listeners or the public. So, starting with Toastmaster Radhika Bauri, she used 2 buts. Toastmaster Madhurantika Mole, she used 2 so's. Shruti Jain, speaker Shruti Jain has used numerous buts and numerous wells, and she has also repeated very. Toastmaster Suryadeep Majumdar has used has repeated and multiple number of times. He has used so and but as well. Now coming to the general evaluator, Rajat Rai. So you have used twice, so twice. The timer, Jigisha Khemka, she has used multiple number of R's and so's twice. Grammarian Tanvi Kumari has used several times so. She has used and twice and once Table topic master Shantanu Datta has used two twice and she has repeated multiple number of times. Toastmaster Vanya has used more than twice. Toastmaster guest Smriti has used but once. Actually, the part was audible and inaudible, so we missed out on that. Toastmaster Ayushi has used a numerous number of times. Toastmaster Sahil has used a numerous number of times and so numerous number of times. Toastmaster Namrata has used a numerous number of times. Toastmaster Shruti has used twice, well twice, and she has also expressed I mean once or twice. So that was the entire evaluation. Thank you, General Evaluator Rajat.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deeparaj. That was very detailed and meticulously done. And I'd encourage all speakers to become more aware of the R's, including myself, of course, because whereas grammar may be a constraint on our vocabulary, at least speaking without hesitation is up to us to practice. So with that, let me invite on stage the grammarian for today, Toastmaster Tanvi, for her report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajat. Just to save time, I thought it's better to put it in a PowerPoint. So as you already know the word of the day and the idiom of the day. And here, if you see the good usages of the words, it was a great learning for me. So thanks a lot for that. And in terms of usages, meraki, which was the word of the day, was used almost 10 times. So thank you so much. And true blue, which was the idiom of the day, was used around 7 times. But some of the great usages of the words that I really found was that falter, contemplating, irony, inevitable, critique, adversities, mirage, realm, wine, pledge, optimized, witness, drenching, credentials. And some of the idioms, which was really very interesting, is both from the speakers, the evaluators, as well as some of the table topics and the table topic master, as well as the Toastmaster of the day. It's like rise up like phoenix again, which is like really rising up from the ashes, the butterfly effect, the sad and long face, which really describes the face of the sadness, the intensity of sadness. Giving back, we are all back with great guns is something that the general evaluator really came up with. Thinking on your feet, Inspirion, and Under the Roof, and many more. So what I would do is I would really share this particular slide with Toastmaster Tanushree, so that it's shared amongst the members as well, and then the vocabulary could be enhanced going forward. Before I close, I also want to just mention that I tried my level best to also note some not so good usages of words, but I really didn't find any. So thank you very much and all the best, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanvi. That was very professionally presented. I don't know where you found the time to type in all those words and phrases, but very well done. And I must laud you on your choice of word of the day and the phrase of the day. If it's been used so many times, it is as much credit to you as to the speakers. So that brings me to the end of the report on evaluation, general evaluation, as well as specific evaluations. And I'd like to hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajat. A big applause and a high five for Toastmaster Rajat. It's such a pleasure always listening to you. And as they say, when the boss speaks, don't speak much after that. Just soak in what he has just said. So I will not say much. Just thanks to all of you for inviting me to be the Toastmaster of the evening. It was a pleasure coming back to Elite Toastmasters, and long live virtual meetings. With that, I will hand it over to the standing in president, Toastmaster Sahil, to give the concluding speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, for wonderfully conducting today's session. You were professional as I had expected and as today's audience had expected. So congratulations for this wonderful TMOD session. And I really thank you in behalf of the entire club and our president, Toastmaster Akas, as well, for readily accepting to play the role of Toastmaster of the Day and conducting it this professionally. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was the end of today's session. As a standing president, let me take few feedbacks from our guest who had attended this meeting. Let me start off with guest Sushmit. I beg your pardon. Are you there? Guest Sushmit, can we have you on camera? I guess he's not available. Let me move to guest Lay. Toastmaster. I believe he's a Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahil.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for attending today's session. May we have your feedback about today's session, how you felt, and what are your expectations regarding upcoming meeting of ours?
I find that this has been a very fantastic learning experience for me. This is my first time attending a Toastmasters meeting from your club, and it's amazing that the members are very active in participating in table topics. The speakers are so expressive, very amazing, and the evaluations are very useful. And of course, the general evaluators' feedback are also reinforcing the learning again for all of us. Thank you for having me here. Thank you, Madhu.
So much, ma'am. May I know from where you're joining us from?
Where?
From where you're joining us today?
I'm from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. And your words, your kind gestures, your words will surely be encouraging to all our speakers, future Toastmasters who are present here, and to all the role players who did their role fantastically well. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Moving on to guest Vanya Grant. Can we have you on camera? Can we have your feedback, please? Guest Vanya.
Yes, Toastmaster Sahil, thank you so much for having me here. It was a very wonderful session and very professionally done. And indeed, it is an elite club here. And I really thank every Toastmaster here, TMOD and GE. Actually, Toastmaster Rajat gave a very good evaluation. I really appreciate that. And also, everyone played a very good role. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, guest Vanya. And indeed, you spoke really well in your table topics, and it shows how professional you are as a speaker. So thank you so much for joining us today in our meetings. I hope we get to cater you in rest of our meetings as well. Please to join us in our upcoming meetings as well. Thank you so much for joining. Let me move on to guest Uma Nataraj. Guest Uma. Can we have you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, you're visible. Guest Uma, can we have your feedback regarding our meeting? How you liked and what are your expectations in our upcoming meetings? Maybe, no?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I was really impressed with all the speeches. And I'm, novice for the Toastmaster Club. I'm just learning. I'm attending different Toastmaster clubs and getting to know how it goes about. I'm a spoken English trainer, and I'm a member of the Speak and Grow family of Praveen Vadalkar, where Suryadeep is also a member. So because of Suryadeep, I'm invited here, and thanks to him he has created a separate WhatsApp group for Toastmasters, those who are interested and those who want to grow up the ladder of Toastmasters. So kudos to him. Thank you so much, Suryadeep. And so the table topic and the prepared speeches. So I've come to know that there are two things. One is prepared speech and another is table topic. And there are evaluators and you have grammarians who evaluate and are also a special evaluator for a person who gives a prepared speech. Am I right? So much I have got. And further, recently I was affected by COVID and I've come out as a COVID warrior successfully with the wishes and blessings of God. So I, suggest and advise all of you to take care because prevention is better than cure and once bitten, twice shy. So I feel that I have to create an awareness in this session. If you give me an opportunity, I'll just speak for 2 minutes.
Sure.
So if you just take the steam wafer at least twice or thrice a day, apply coconut oil in your nose, drink hot water, eat hot and fresh food, and do not go to crowded places. Whenever you go out, wear a mask. And even if the other person is not wearing, you ask him to wear a mask because both of you have to wear, whoever is opposite to you. And take care of your health because health is very important. Prioritize your health first because I did not prioritize my health. And almost for 10 years, I had borderline sugar. I had not taken care of it at all. And because of that, over a period of time, maybe the sugar levels went up and I must have become a diabetic. So that highlighted only when I got COVID. So because of that, maybe the immunity went down and COVID caught me easily. So you have, after 50 or 45, you have to take an executive checkup. It's only 2,000 rupees for an executive checkup, whereas when you are admitted in a hospital, you pay 1.5 lakhs. I paid for 8 days. Since we had insurance, it was hassle-free. Otherwise, it is really very difficult. So make an insurance also for health because your health is wealth. And when we make an insurance for a vehicle, why not for our body, which protects us so much, is it not? So prioritize your health and connect with people because when you stay connected, only then people will respond to you. I have almost 2,000 friends on Facebook and 2,000 contacts on mobile phone. And SAG family, around 150 people, wish me to get well. And also a few people who came to know about it spoke to me. But even a few relatives of mine whom I expected to speak, they just said, take care, get well soon and things like that. But the intimate touch is lost nowadays. Now that the mobile has come, rarely we speak. Whereas when somebody speaks to you, that emotion connect is more than the lines. I am sure you'll agree with this. Is it not? Whenever a person speaks and asks you, how are you? You feel so much nice. At least that person is caring for you and calling you. So that connect, I felt I have lost. I'm 54 years old now, and I feel I should connect more. I have not done enough. When I touch lives of people, only then they will call me back because I have done something to them. So you have to start giving more. The more you give, the more you get back. So unconditionally, you start giving. The sun gives light to everyone without knowing whether they are rich or poor. So just like that, when you have more, it could be knowledge, it could be money, it could be anything. Start sharing it without expecting anything. That's what I would say. And this is a wonderful platform to share knowledge where everybody is sharing unconditionally. That is how we have to grow. Not only we are growing, when you are a leader, you have to grow and make others grow. Only then you are called as a leader. So kudos to everyone who is making the effort here to help people to grow. And the last thing which I would like to say is always help people. Where in the hospital also, I felt there was a human touch. Though it was a 3-star hospital, they gave me everyone the 5-star touch. That's what I felt. I went to Apollo Hospital also to take care of my father, but I felt this 3-star hospital called Banavi Hospital in Mysore is much, much better. the nurses, the doctors, everyone had a special touch of care where they asked you, where they inquired you, and they spent almost 5 minutes with each patient, because otherwise the doctor just checks and says yes, yes, and he just goes away. But he listened to me, the feedback which I gave, it could be positive or negative, because there was a clock in my room which was not running. I told him, please remove the clock. I have a mobile, I can see the time. So what he did, he saw every clock in every room was set right. So that was one thing which I could do. And then whatever feedback I gave, immediately there was a response. We didn't get food on time. So I told him, we are all diabetic patients. What is the use of just giving injections and not giving food on time? So from the next day, we got food on time. And then we were so impressed with what they did. We gave mementos to all the COVID ward staff, the doctors and the insurance people and the billing people. And almost for a week, we had not got tea and coffee to our ward. And my husband was really struggling without tea and coffee. We just had a kettle and we had some green tea sachets. We used to prepare that and drink. And that day when we gave the mementos, the tea and coffee came up to the ward and we had to pay for it. That's not a problem. But at least we made that impact on them. So always when you give love to people, when you show them some love, definitely you get it back 10 times. That's what I realized. And I started creating awareness wherever I went once I got discharged. Because the next day I had to go to take insulin. I didn't know how to use the syringe. Then the doctor told me, I connected with him on WhatsApp. I have become his friend now. And he says, you can come anytime, but I don't want to go to the hospital always. But I have got connected with him. He said, you buy a pen, our hospital people will help you how to take the injection. So I learned that, and now I'm giving the insulin to me and my husband myself. So that is what you have to do. Wherever you go, you connect with people, create an impact. And then, and also you have to be courteous with your words. That's what I feel. Words can create miracles. Words have power. Like, I don't know his name, the great TEDx speaker. I see something in you, some Itarachi, somebody. So like that, I see something in all of you too. Okay, so maybe you see something in me too. And thank you for the opportunity. Well done to all of you. Keep rocking. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. I mean, surely we all expect to take all those COVID measures that we are expected to take with the scene rising, with the COVID cases rising so rapidly in India and, in all the places of India. We all expect to keep the safety and keep all those necessary precautions that we are expected to have. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. We hope you join us again in our upcoming meetings and you get to learn more and more about Toastmasters. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, finally, just a feedback from Toastmaster of the Day who had joined us from a different club altogether, Toastmaster Madhurantika. Ma'am, may we have your feedback on how this meeting went and what you liked about today's meeting?
Thank you, Sahil. Any event like this one, what we see is only probably 2 hours, but what goes behind is weeks of preparation. And that is probably what it was a very pleasant experience. The day Tanushree invited me, gave me a sample of the previous agenda, the way I was guided through, it definitely shows the quality of a good club. And indeed, of course, when you have stalwarts like Rajat, when you have Rashmi, and I was also told that one of the USPs of this club that you have a mix of the stalwarts and also a lot of the new learners, and there's a fantastic chemistry between these two groups. So for me, the evening was great. The preparation to the evening was even better. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, Madhurantika. Thank you so much for conducting the session, and your kind feedbacks will surely help to all of us, and especially to Toastmaster Tanushree, who did the job perfectly and who guided you perfectly. So thank you so much, ma'am. So ladies and gentlemen, a small announcement. The voting link had already been posted, so I request you all to cast your vote. And similarly, the feedback form by our Vice President membership has also been posted in the group. So I request to all of you to kindly give your kind words your feedback to us so that we can have the opportunity to cater you in a better way and improve ourselves as leaders and communicators. To ask to Toastmaster Radhika, okay, so I have the list of winners who have won award in today's meeting. So starting off with auxiliary role player, be it grammarian, timer, or R-counter. So the best auxiliary role player award goes to Toastmaster Tanvi as the grammarian of today. So congratulations, Toastmaster Tanvi, for bagging the award of the best auxiliary role player. Secondly, the best role player amongst Toastmaster of the day, general evaluator, and table topic master. Any guesses?
Toastmaster of the day?
Unfortunately, she did do the job perfectly, but today it is our general evaluator, Toastmaster Rajatri. He has won the award of best role player. So congratulations, Toastmaster Rajatri, for bagging this award. Thirdly, the best table topic speaker amongst Toastmasters. So any guesses here? No guesses. So let me announce the award quickly. So it goes to Toastmaster Ayushi Taparia and Toastmaster Suryadeep as well. So there's a tie. Toastmaster Ayushi as well as Toastmaster Suryadeep for winning the award of Best Table Topic Speaker amongst Toastmaster. Likewise, the Best Table Topic Speaker amongst guests goes to guest Smriti. Congratulations, guest Smriti, for winning the award of Best Table Topic Speaker amongst guests. And likewise, the best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Ayushi Taparia. Congratulations, Toastmaster Ayushi, for winning the award of best evaluator. Indeed, you did a great job, and we expect you to deliver your speeches and your evaluation in the way you did today. So congratulations, Toastmaster Ayushi. And finally, the most improved speaker. I guess the award, okay, I missed the award of best speaker, and the award of best speaker goes to Toastmaster Shruti. Congratulations, Toastmaster Shruti, for winning the award of best speaker today. And finally, the award of most improved speaker goes to Toastmaster Suryadeep. Again, congratulations, Toastmaster Suryadeep, for winning the award, and congratulations to all the winners and all the role players, in fact, for playing the role perfectly. Awards come and go, but the opportunity, the courage, and the step forward to becoming a good leader and good communicator stays always ahead. So congratulations to all the role players, to all the speakers, to all the evaluators, and everyone who are present here in this meeting to make this meeting a fabulous one and a memorable one. So finally, as the presiding officer, I declare this meeting closed, but we have something special for you as well in the informal session. We do have an informal chit chat. So if you want to stay here in the informal session, in the informal chit chat, we get the opportunity to know more about ourselves, you can stay, or else you may leave the meeting. The meeting remains closed. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope to cater you again in our upcoming meetings. We hope to have you all in our upcoming meetings. Thank you very much all.
whoever is the host, just say ना कि recording बंद कर दे. Very sorry.
Done.